Yo, guys, and welcome back to Comic-Con at Home. I'm Akeem Lawanson. Thanks for tuning in. Now, remember, guys, you can keep up with all of our Comic-Con coverage by following IGN on TikTok and Twitter, or tweet at us with the hashtag IGN Comic-Con to get involved in the show. Don't forget, guys, this is the last day. Now, this year has been plagued with film delays due to the ongoing pandemic, pushing several of film release date back a few months, or in some cases a year or two, or just plain taking off the damn release schedule. It's a bummer, I know, guys. And here to help me talk about how bummed we all are about some of the biggest releases being pushed back, two of my best bummer buds, Brian Altano and Max Scoville. Hey, bummer buds.
Thanks, I think.
That's good. We wanted to put some soft piano music underneath this segment because this is sort of tragic. Comic-Con historically has been a great vehicle to sort of introduce new things that we're really excited for. And we got a lot of that this year, but we also got some sort of significant delays that I'm pretty bummed out about. So I wanted to start off by talking about Antlers, which is a horror movie I was incredibly excited for this year. It's supposed to come out in February of 2021 now, originally announced for April of this year. And obviously things went away. And this is a sort of small town horror movie about a Wendigo. It's got Jesse Plemons in it, and it has Kerry Russell from Breaking Bad and The Americans, respectively, both awesome TV shows. And it's such a bummer because this felt like such a good like Halloween October VOD on demand type of situation. Just like drop it so we can watch it at home, have a few beers, put on Antlers, and be thoroughly spooked out by this movie that is, in part produced by Guillermo del Toro, David Goyer. Like, there's really awesome talent involved here. It looks gorgeous. It looks cool. But unfortunately, we have to wait until all the way of next year, February, one of the, I would say, second or third spookiest months. So that's kind of a bummer. I know you guys are kind of excited for this one too, but yeah, it's a heartbreaker.
Yeah, this panel was supposed to be discussing our favorite movies we're excited about coming out of Comic-Con, but most of the big announcements were not things that are coming soon. It's things that are not happening for a cool minute. One of the big ones that we got, this was in the middle of the New Mutants panel, basically the big, huge announcement that New Mutants will be coming to theaters on August 28th of this year. They did this trailer that opened with basically like release dates getting repeatedly crossed off. This movie has been kicked around so much. And at this point, like, I feel like it looks okay. It looks interesting. It looks definitely better than I was expecting. But at the same time, like, it will take an act of God to get me going into a movie theater on August 28th for a movie that I've been waiting for this long, like it's not even, a huge anticipation right now. And the whole reason they can't just put it on VOD is because it has like existing cable rights dating back to, I imagine, before the whole Disney Fox buyout. So in the middle of this panel, the announcement that this was coming out to theaters, Disney was just quietly like, we're also delaying basically everything else, including, I guess like what Mulan, Black Widow, I think those just got sort of indefinitely postponed.
Right. Yeah. They took Mulan straight off it's been taken off the slate, so we don't know when we're going to be getting that particular release, which is a bummer.
Right. This is a fascinating one. There was a red carpet, like there was an actual red carpet for Mulan. So people worked that event. They went to that show. They saw that movie, and then it disappeared. It went into the Disney vaults, as they say.
And the one that I'm most sort of bent out of shape about, and like people, I know a lot of people are like, who is actually looking forward to Avatar 2? I'll be honest. I'm like, I started out as sort of like cautiously optimistic and just kind of curious about what an Avatar sequel would look like. And I don't know if I'm ever going to see one. That got pushed from 2021 to December 16th, 2022. And that means that if everything stays on schedule, which I don't think it will because it's Avatar, that means that Avatar 5 maybe will come out on December 22nd, 2028, which is, I kid you not, 19 years after the original was released.
Yeah, which is insane. You're heading into sort of reboot territory in terms of time stretches at that point. This is honestly, it's veered into like a sort of a running joke with cinema heads and film goers, because like having one Avatar movie to be delayed is sort of preposterous this many times. Having 4 sequels, several of which are being filmed concurrently, which had to restart production because I think they felt safe being mostly underwater, to then have to halt production is a sort of insane thing, because we are now pushing 4 Avatar movies down the line all the way until 8 years from now, which is just bonkers.
I don't understand why they even tell us that we're getting all these sequels and the dates. I don't get it. Like, they did the same thing with Star Wars. Like, the untitled Star Wars movie has been moved. The next one that we're getting has been moved to December 22nd, 2023. And then after that, we're going to get one every other year. I don't know. What's the purpose of telling us this? Like, I just want to know when the next one is coming out. That's all I really need to know, honestly.
I think it's for like stockholders, but
that's exactly it.
Yeah, but it's also just, it's such a weird thing from a sort of, consumer standpoint, or just I guess a fan even. But yeah, like it's hard to even picture, like, what does 2027 look like?
Yeah.
What is that?
On the flip side, like, to be blunt, after the sort of Skywalker trilogy, if that's what we're calling it, I'm happy to see these kind of go in the oven for a couple of years and take their sweet time, or like go back and figure out the recipe, because I think these things need some space. The difference with Star Wars is that I think that the legacy will continue in live action form in a televised format via original and sequitur Disney Plus shows that expand on characters and universes, which you can't really get for Antlers and things like A Quiet Place, and there's no Avatar TV show that I know of. So at the very least, we'll get new seasons of The Mandalorian, we'll get new live action Star Wars stuff on TV. But in terms of like a movie, a trilogy, whatever, what have you, there were so many concurrent directors, from Taika Waititi to at some point we had the Game of Thrones guys, they got fired. There's so many different moving targets on this franchise, but at least we do get some TV shows to hold us over in the next few years.
Yeah, last we heard, Mandalorian's still on track. I guess the weird thing is, like, there's a certain pageantry that comes with going to the movies and seeing something on opening night, and there's some movies that I'm like, I'm fine waiting for. Like, Tenet is a movie that I want to see on a big screen, and Christopher Nolan wants me to see it on a big screen. But there's other stuff where I'm like, if you gave me a choice of like, okay, you can buy it now on VOD for $20, which is like, that's more than I normally want for renting something. But if it was like, it's out now, you've waited for it, you've heard about it, it's just like they did with Scoob or Sonic. If you gave me that option versus like, or you can go to the movie theater in 2021, I'd be like, give me the thing now. I have nothing else to do. What else am I going to do? Like,
yeah, I mean, there was also Spider-Man Far From Home, the sequel, which I don't know if that will be Spider-Man Quarantined at Home, Spider-Man Working From Home, whatever you want to call that now. It's going to have home in the title. That moved from November 5th, 2021 to December 17th, 2021. So only a month. But I think that's being generous right now. I do see that. I see their entire slate being kicked down the road a little bit, because it's just so difficult to start an actual gigantic full-scale production.
Yeah, and just to mention, they also pushed Jungle Cruise to next year, July 31st, 2021, which I was really looking forward to. And I guess I'll have to wait till next year and see it on the big screen. I'm assuming they have something, they're hoping things kind of normalize in the world, because I think they're going to do something big for next year at Comic-Con, because like, it's The Rock. The Rock's involved, so they're going to do something huge.
The ride's still open somehow, so you can go on that.
I would know. I think I'm going to stay here. I'm good right here. Well, thanks, fellas, for keeping me bummed out about what's to come in years from now. But I'm also very excited to watch some of these movies soon-ish, I guess.